What I'm doing to get ready for the Great Recession 2023. Would you be ready to survive the winter if I told you we would lose power in a week? Although a recession may not be as bad a situation as that, it is nonetheless crucial that we prepare for the upcoming winter. The unfortunate news is that we already in a recession. The good news is that you can safeguard yourself and even survive a recession, and that's what we're going to discuss right now in this video. First, let me clarify if you're clueless about what a recession is, why interest rates are rising, or any of the other bizarre financial news we've been hearing lately. The United States defines a recession as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the market, lasting more than a few months. The European Union defined it somewhat more simply. A recession is defined as zero or negative GDP growth for at least 2 consecutive quarters. Sadly, this already occurred in the first 2 months of 2022, from January to June. I'll break this down and explain what you need to know because there were a lot of terms there, many of which you might not be able to grasp. You should understand first what inflation is. Now, inflation essentially occurs when an excessive amount of money is printed too quickly. For instance, when COVID happened, spending essentially came to a halt. This is bad because the economy isn't doing well, which means that people can get paid. If they can get paid, they can buy cars, go out to eat, or even pay for housing. Now, in an effort to resuscitate the economy, the government produced massive sums of money and sent them to us in the form of stimulus checks. Unfortunately, the actual purchasing power of money decreases as more of it is printed. The government will actually increase interest rates in an effort to reduce inflation by getting consumers to spend less. In an effort to encourage saving more, the government and banks will simultaneously increase the interest rates on savings accounts. When inflation occurs, the GDP will really begin to decline. GDP is essentially just the total number of goods and services sold in a nation. For instance, if you sell cars, you increase your nation's GDP. However, if consumers put off buying cars because interest rates are so high, the GDP will decline as a result of people saving less money, which will lead to a decrease in interest rates. It's rather reasonable to assume that we are in a recession once GDP growth is zero or negative for 2 consecutive quarters, as we have witnessed so far in 2022. Now, there are still a ton of other factors that contribute to recessions, especially one as complex as the one we are now experiencing, but I won't go into much detail here. These are just the essentials that you should be aware of. By the way, if you are learning something from this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. We are currently experiencing the first phases of a recession, so how are you getting ready for it, and how does minimalism work into all of this? Make sure you have an emergency fund before anything else. If you haven't already, this is a crucial time to get started. This can be done by setting aside 1 to 3 months worth of expenses for living. However, you can aim higher than that. It's also better to have your fund in cash so that you can pay for your rent, for your car if you have that, and for all of your necessities such as food and utilities. Whether or not there is a recession, you should always make sure that you have enough money in case something unexpected occurs, such as a car breakdown or medical emergency, to prevent you from incurring bad consumer debt like credit card debt. Next is saving. Simply take an honest look at everything in your life, including the way you spend your money, and determine whether or not it adds significant value, joy, or happiness. If not, try to go without it. Try eating more meals at home and trying budget meals. Anything other than minimum essentials can be eliminated, including Amazon. Although it doesn't have to be as harsh, the objective is to make sure that you can cut your costs as much as you can. The next stage is to pay off whatever credit card debt you have once you've sort of broken down your needs and reduced your spending as much as you can. The percentage that you pay on your credit card will increase along with interest rates. As a result, it will be much more difficult for you to truly pay off your credit card loans, and you won't be able to utilize that money for other steps later in this video that might have a significant positive influence in your life. The next step is to attempt to increase your income at some point after you've established your emergency savings, begun saving money, and paid off credit card debt. You can achieve this by engaging in a few side jobs. These don't have to be large sums of money, but if you can get by on what you're now generating while starting a side job, it will be really helpful for the following step. Next is investing. Even if 99% of stocks are definitely going to decline, There is a crucial reason for this, despite the fact that it may seem counterintuitive. Any extra money you do have can be used to purchase stocks and other assets at a bargain, as you already prepared for any financial emergency. You can actually buy at those lower prices and essentially dollar cost average your way in, since you are in a great financial position while everyone else is in a panic and selling because they need money. This is really just the concept of consistently investing in the market regardless of whether it is rising or falling. While many people keep up with the news and attempt to time the market, this is just very difficult to achieve. Actually, the best way to go about it is to just keep putting money in. Even a tiny monthly contribution can be set up to be automated, allowing you to dollar cost average your way to success. Now, if you're going to invest in stocks, you might want to use the 90-10 rule, which recommends investing 90% of the money you set aside to buy securities in inexpensive index funds. The S&P 500 is an option. In this manner, you may essentially distribute yourself evenly across the market. You can now invest the remaining 10% in short-term government bonds. When a recession like the one we are about to go through occurs, it typically lasts for a few years, and if you're the one of those people who continuously monitor the market while attempting to buy and sell, you're likely to make mistakes. Instead, you're aiming for a longer-term approach here rather than a fast buck, since you'll have much more upside in the long run if the market ultimately flips around than those who bought when things were going well. Real estate is the other choice you can try. Because interest rates have increased so much, this might not be feasible for everyone and is much less alluring than it was a year ago. However, it's still possible to make a lot of money in real estate, particularly if you engage in house hacking, which involves purchasing a multi-family building with a 3.5% down FHA loan. Occupy one unit while renting the other two. If you have enough money, you can buy a traditional rental property that should generate a monthly cash flow, and those should cover all of your mortgage taxes and insurance, letting you live very cheaply and save a lot of money. Your property value will increase along with inflation as it keeps rising, and the rent payments you receive each month will help you accumulate equity in the home. When people can no longer afford to buy real estates during the rising interest rates, it is a huge method that a lot of people make a lot of money in a recession. Real estate is purchased by investors at significantly lower cost with the intention of profiting greatly while the recession lasts. There are currently innovative ways to purchase real estate without having a lot of money, but if you want to accomplish it, you should first read a few books and study about it. Fine art is something new you can try. For the past 26 years, the S&P 500 has not outperformed fine art as an investment. While you may never be able to spend millions of dollars on a work of art, you can invest in Picasso and get a few other paintings. It kind of diversifies yourself that way. Now, even though I'm not a financial expert, this is the plan for getting ready for the Great Recession. Basically, it is spending less, earning more, and investing the difference. It's the concept of financial minimalism as a whole. If you are interested in this content, check out our latest video or watch this playlist we created. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. This is the Financial Fortune, and thank you for watching.